Dream of the shakings to come. The date is the 13th of the 8th, 2023. And in the night hours, I had a dream which I believe is from the Lord, so please weigh and test as you see fit. The dream was relatively brief, yet it left me awake all night in prayer for our nation and the Church of the UK. The dream began with me being inside a lady's house. The house itself was large with a sizable back garden with a hedge of protection all the way about. Inside the front room of the house was many windows and a glass door which people entered and left from. Suddenly the ground shook violently as an earthquake ripped through the nation. Things in the house began to fall as the ground rocked to and fro. And no sooner had the shaking stopped than the sky lit up with an enormous flash of light. In the dream it was already daylight and the flash was 3 times brighter than the day, and I knew that the shaking was to do with the economy, the government, and the church being shaken with judgment and chastisement. I also recognized immediately that the flash in the sky was nuclear, and that Russia had done something really bad. I knew from here on in we were in trouble, and I felt fear at people wanting to get into the house because we were considered a safe place. I must be honest, this seemed strange to me in a house with single glazed windows and a simple glass front door. The house didn't seem safe in the natural, yet it was deemed to be so by outsiders. The woman of the house, she wanted to let people in, yet I hid down because I didn't want people to see us and was worried that we could be opening the doors to any crazy person who could do great harm to us. However, the woman of the house insisted on letting people in. Then in anger, I opened the front door and proclaimed that all who wanted to enter into this house must first go and get every can of food, every bar of soap, and every box of washing powder, etc. they could get from their household before they could come into the safety of the house. This seemed to me a very difficult request, especially because of the nature of the uncertainty and danger of outside, yet people did what I demanded, much to my surprise. In the next part of the dream, the people living in the house who brought all their goods had access to limited rations of food, washing powder, etc. as they needed it, but on a strict allotment process. I saw what looked like supermarket shelves full of food and washing powder and everything we needed. Through everyone bringing in their resources, it helped everyone within the house to live in a place of relative safety and limited comfort. I think the dream is quite clear in what it's portraying. The house and the woman owner represent the church. The people trying to get in is the people of the world wanting to come into the safety of the church. The earthquake represents the judgment and chastisements to the nation in our economy, the government, and the church. The nuclear flash represents the breaking out of what leads into World War III. The practical storage and distribution of food is similar to the principle of Joseph in the book of Genesis, who stored grain to help feed both the Israelites and the Egyptians through a terrible famine. Many Christians are often distraught today at the sight of rainbow flags and banners being used in what they would see as derogatory, yet these are prophetic signs of the day, for it will be just as in the days of Noah. The sins and wickedness that we have allowed on our country and in the nations will require a deluge to destroy it. This deluge, this tidal wave or tsunami, will be, I believe, God's chastisement upon us for allowing these things. Yet, amidst this great darkness that is to come, will also come a wonderful, tender move of God. The revival we have so longed for will come, but not how we thought, for it will be the best of times and the worst of times. As many of you know, I've been talking about these things coming for some time now, and some may rightly be asking, when is all this going to happen, Chris? Honestly, I do not know. I believe that the economic shakings have now already begun and will continue to worsen over the next couple of years until the system breaks. Importantly, though, I do not consider myself as a self-styled prophet. I'm really just a pastor of a couple of small churches in a town no one has heard of. I have a prophetic edge and share this often, but that's all I am. These words will either come true or they will not. I will literally stand or fall on these messages I've been given that I've been giving out for the last 5 years or so. And if I'm wrong, then I'll be hung out to dry by many people. So we all have to pray, for either God is speaking or he is not. If he is not, then I'm deemed a false messenger, and that's the end of me and my ministry. But if God is speaking, then what should our response be? And how are we going to react and treat the voice of God? Also, if it is the voice of God, how much is from man and how much is from the Lord? The body needs to pray and discern in this hour, for the sands of time are running out and a reckoning is coming. I'll leave this with you, and you can consider or discard as you see fit. God bless.